Welcome to Creation Cooking. I'm Lydia. Today, we're cooking with a purple vegetable that is actually a fruit, the eggplant. Eggplant is a key ingredient in classic dishes like the Greek moussaka, Chinese and Thai stir-fries, stuffed Turkish dishes, the Middle Eastern baba ganoush dip, which we'll be making later, and of course, the ever-favorite Italian eggplant parmesan. The eggplant is a fruit because when it grows from a flower and it has seeds inside. These are the seeds. They're pretty tiny, so you don't really notice them when you're eating eggplant in different recipes. While there are some exceptions, typically you can determine if something is a fruit because it grows from the flower of a plant and it has seeds inside it. Pretty cool that when plants were created, on day 3 of Creation Week, God says in Genesis 1:11, "Let the earth sprout vegetation, plants yielding seed, and fruit trees bearing fruit in which is their seed, according to its kind on the earth." He also says to mankind in Genesis 1:29, "Behold, I have given you every plant yielding seed that is on the face of all the earth, and every tree with seed in its fruit. You shall have them for food." But because of the fall, not all plants are still good for us to eat as food. This is the case with some of the plants in the nightshade family or in the Solanaceae family, because they are poisonous. These are plants like tobacco, belladonna, and mandrake. But some in the nightshade family are still good. Those would be eggplants, tomatoes, potatoes, and peppers. But eggplants have a very low amount of alkaloids, and so you'd have to eat a rather awful lot of them before you even begin to feel sick. When you prepare your eggplant, you don't want to cut into one until you're ready to cook it. Otherwise, it turns brown when exposed to the air and goes bad pretty quickly. If you cut into one and it's already brown, don't use it, it's gone bad. For such a vibrantly colored fruit, the eggplant isn't very flavorful. Some can have a very mildly bitter taste. But see, the flesh of the fruit is rather spongy, so when cooked, the eggplant does a great job of adding texture and creaminess to the recipe and takes on and balances the other flavors it's cooked with. Eggplants can be more commonly known as this larger purple and egg-shaped one. But there's quite the variety of eggplants, the colors ranging from dark red, purple, pink, yellow, white, and sometimes striped. The size can be small and oblong to long and thin. It's pretty amazing to see the diversity God created within just eggplants. My all-time favorite eggplant recipe is eggplant parmesan. It's a recipe that has been passed down in my family because my grandpa created it as a replica of his favorite eggplant parmesan dish he would get from a restaurant in New York. It has been a family favorite for years. What I'm doing now with the 2 sliced eggplants is called salting. This salting helps to minimize the bitter taste that eggplants typically have and just enhances the overall flavor of the dish. There are 2 ways you can salt eggplant. You can soak it in salt water, or you can lightly salt both sides of the slices and let them sit for about an hour. Just be sure to rinse the slices before cooking if you do use the salting method. You don't have to peel the eggplant, and you don't have to salt the eggplant, but your eggplant parmesan will taste that much better if you do. All right, so now we're gonna get the eggplant ready for frying. So I got a skillet here, we're gonna get it on medium heat, and we're going to get our oil cooking. We wanna get it heating to just the right temperature where it's just like enough where you're gonna get that fried golden brown. Just gonna put just enough to coat the bottom of the pan, and then we're gonna get ready all of the ingredients that we're going to be breading the eggplant with. So I've got 2 eggs. All right, I've got 2 tablespoons of milk. You're gonna whisk that together. All right, then we've got our breadcrumbs. Want enough to bread all of your eggplant with, and then we're just gonna season this with garlic powder and onion powder to taste. And then just mix that together. Next is the layering. You're gonna put down your sauce first, just a little bit of sauce, and you're gonna spread it out. So we're gonna do sauce, then put down a layer of eggplant. This is kind of like a lasagna, but you're doing it with eggplant instead of noodles. All right, so we're gonna get cheese. I like to do a lot of cheese. All right, and you're just gonna keep layering sauce, eggplant, and cheese until you've got it all the way to the top and you've used up all your eggplant. 4 layers is good. More layers take longer to bake, but they stay more moist. You're gonna finish that last layer with some cheese and sauce, and then add the remaining beaten egg and milk. Now we're gonna bake that at 350 degrees for 30 to 40 minutes, or until the eggplant is tender. And there we have it, just like Grandpa makes it. Well, thanks for Creation Cooking with me today. I had an excellently fun time sharing these recipes with you. Just remember, keep cooking.